What is going on, guys? It's a perfect day to do a YouTube video, and today I show you how to install a subwoofer in your non-Alpine Jeep Wrangler. Bam! So we opted not to get the 7-inch screen with Alpine sound system just because the cost of it was ridiculous, and I was kind of hoping to see what's out there later on as an aftermarket option. But as for right now, I gotta say the factory sound system is honestly kind of crappy. I also heard people complaining about the Alpine version of it as well, that it doesn't sound as great as it really should. So without ripping out the speakers, finding where to put amplifiers and going that route and spending thousands of dollars, my thought was, let's put a subwoofer in here and see what it sounds like. Maybe we won't have to go any further. So my first thought process was, let's find a subwoofer that's going to fit in the back of the Jeep, not impede anything, not take up a lot of room, nothing I have to run major wires for, has a preamp on it, or I should say this one actually has a signal processor on it and a built-in amplifier, so it's a self-powered sealed subwoofer. That's what we're going to be using today. And we also need an amp kit. I got this one on Amazon, so this is an 8-gauge one, and the subwoofer, I'll put a link in the description for the same one. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm test fitting the sub, making sure that it fits where it's supposed to fit. And I have come up with a way of raising it about 1.5 inches off of the actual floor here in order to clear this curve here so that I can still be able to open the storage lid in the back here. So I think this is going to be the location of where I'm going to be putting it, right up against that seat. And I feel like it fits in here just right without looking too bad. Alright, so the way that I'm doing my connection, I'm going to start off with the connection and show you guys. So I crimped on this connector, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to solder it on there too, just so we are 100% safe of it not sliding out or coming off. Once I soldered it, I'm installing shrink tubing on top just to protect it from any further damage or sliding out. Next up, under the hood here, I'm going to figure out where I'm mounting the fuse. So I think I'm going to zip tie the fuse actually to these wires here, because I want to make sure that I'm as close as possible to the battery with a fuse to make my run for the ungrounded, or I should say for the unprotected wire, make that as short as possible. So we're going to be going to the battery right here under the cover, and I'm going to probably feed it through in here. So I literally need a couple inches here for this wire. So the next step is that I'm doing where I'm hiding the wire is there's a factory wire loom enclosure here on the firewall, or right at the top of the hood. So what I did was I opened it up with a flathead screwdriver. I fed the wire from the other side, from the driver's side. I got it to the point where it's here. I'm pulling through some slack, and I'm going to feed it through this factory hole. And here we go. That's basically enough wire right here for the fuse that I have zip tied. I have enough wire to the battery. So let me clean this up, pull the slack out, and start feeding the wire through the inside of the car, button this up. Alright, so I got my cable hooked up there. I'm not hooking up to the battery till the end because I'm not disconnecting the battery. The Jeep JL, keep in mind, has 2 batteries, one for the auto stop start feature that is, I believe, under this battery. So I'm not even going to try to disconnect it for now. We're basically working with the power cable disconnected. So the Jeep JL does have a hole through the firewall, and there's a grommet in it, which I just removed. It's right there. And I'm feeding the power wire through the firewall here. I also drilled a 3/8 hole with a grommet here to put the wire through into that cap. And now I am just putting this through. And that is what it looks like once it's put back in. So it comes out of factory fire loom, goes down and through the firewall. Now we're gonna start working on the inside. First thing we're gonna have to do is remove the door panel here for the door plug. And then we're also gonna remove this panel so we can run the wire along in this plastic here all the way to the back. So I'm not removing these panels completely. I'm removing them. You slide them back, they unclip. There's also a little cable holder type of deal in here. What looks like right over here, these guys, make sure you don't run your cable through that because that's actually what holds the panels in here if you look. So I have made that mistake before, and actually both of them do the same job. So that's how these panels are held in. So we're just going to be running it through underneath, and inside here you see there's like a little clip for the factory wires. So that's what we're going to be sending the wire through all the way to the back, through the back carpet. All right, so I got the wire routed through. It's going through here inside. It's going all the way to the back, comes back through here, goes through the same thing, goes under the carpet here, which you could easily lift up and route the wires, and it's going in the back behind on the panel here, and it comes out right here in the back. Now I took this piece out right here using the T40 just so I could have easier access to run the wires through. Also not putting the panels back yet, all these, because I do have to run another wire, which is going to be the remote wire that we're going to be hooking up to the cigarette lighter, which turns on with the ignition to tell the amp that we started the car and we are ready to roll and listen to music. The only reason I'm doing this, even though that this this JL audio amp has sensitivity to signal wire when we're going to hook it up to the speakers, but it has trouble processing the signal from the Jeep JL. So what we're going to do is we're just going to ensure it turns on and it works every time by hooking it up to the cigarette lighter. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm removing this panel under the steering wheel, which you just pull out and the clips come undone. There's, I believe, 4 clips on this. Okay, I'm going to disconnect this little guy and disconnect the push button start, and this panel is pretty much removed. Simple as that. Next, we got to take out this screw right here, which is a Phillips. Just comes undone. Pretty simple. And then we are disconnecting the wire for the cigarette lighter, which is this one right here. It's a pretty long wire. There's 3 wires to it. What I'm going to do is strip it back and solder my remote wire right to one of these wires. So I got the remote wire all soldered up to the pink with the yellow stripe wire, and at this point we can start putting everything back together over here. That is the ignition turned on power wire for the cigarette lighter. One of those wires is actually for the backlight for the LED, and then the other one is a ground. uninstall this guy. These panels are all neatly tucked away back to where they belong. I do have a suggestion though. Watch those white clips that you take out, like out of these panels and stuff like that, because they like to go flying and they tend to disappear on you. I got my remote wire back here, and that's basically what we need for this side. So we have our power connections all set up. Next thing we got to do is we got to run the wire for the signal. So this is super simple. On the passenger side pillar, these wires go all the way up. Last time I did this, I actually tapped into the actual sound bar, but these wires are running through the A pillar or through this pillar here, with the seat belt out of the way. I just took off this plastic panel and moved the bottom panel like I did on the other side. These are the two wires that are for the sound bar, and the left rear sound bar is gray and green and gray and dark green, which is this, and the right sound bar is dark green and dark green and gray. So that's what these are, and all I'm going to do is strip them back, solder them, make sure not to cut them. So I'm going to solder them and run from here back to the amp location. Alright, so I got those wires all soldered up and tucked up way neatly. Now I got to run these wires through this bottom trim piece like I did on the other side with the power wires, under the carpet, shoot across through there, and come out right where those wires are. Also, I forgot to mention, I also ran the grounding wire, and I'll show you how I did that through the same, actually it was on the other side, the same exact way as the power wire, but the grounding wire, I am utilizing a factory ground that is like this, but it's exactly like this except it's on the other side. So it makes it really easy for me to just ground that wire and shoot it up right there, and it comes right where the subwoofer is going to be. So what I have done is I removed the subwoofer from the enclosure, and I used wood screws to mount through the panel here. It goes through the carpet, so even if you remove the screws, the carpet kind of hides where the holes were. So this panel is going to go here with my spacers, and then we'll install the subwoofer on top once I get this all buttoned up and screwed down with the torque. Alright, so now that I got my spacers in there, I want to make sure that I still clear, which I do when I open it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually using some silicone with washers just to make sure that we have a properly sealed box. Alright, my box is solid. Move the whole Jeep with it. This still clears. Alright, we're ready to hook up our connections and test it out. Alright, so I have all my connections made over here, which is pretty nice on the setup because you have these plugs. So I mean, in case you want to remove the box, you unscrew the sub and take the bolts out and the box comes out. If you know you're going to be transporting something, it's not much harder than removing the roof. But the nice thing is you do all your wiring and then you just plug it in. For a nice and clean looking installation. Let's see how this goes. There we go. And there you go. Nice and clean. So now all we got to do is hook up the power wire and test fire it, see how it works. Alright guys, so everything is buttoned up. This is what it looks like. I can still use my rear storage area. Also, the cool part is about the way that this is installed is that you could still fit your Freedom panels in the back in case you decide to take them off on the road. It'll still fully fit in here with the subwoofer. Under the hood, all you see is the fuse holder and the wire, which you could actually even put a wire loom on it if you don't want that red wire showing. But this is fairly straightforward, simple installation, super easy, and I think I'm gonna pop the roof back on right now and go for a cruise. All right guys, so I am basically cruising around right now. I still have the Freedom tops off, so it's not as sealed to like hear the full shebang, and I'm only going off of my GoPro microphone, so it's really hard to tell the depth that it adds. I feel like the factory speakers kind of stay in their clarity zone, and this kind of just adds a little bit of that deep bass that has been missing out of these Jeeps from the factory basically. So here's what it sounds like. So there you go guys, I'm not gonna go too much into it because obviously it's really hard to hear the difference. You can actually boost this, kick the bass up pretty high, and it does sound fairly decent. So this wraps up another video for the JL vlog. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the install. This makes a world of a difference in sound quality that's coming out of the factory speakers, and we were under 600 bucks with pretty much the whole installation. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It'll help you out. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and I will see you soon because now we got YouTube while there, so I can shoot videos all day long every day. Later guys.